Okay, so in this video, I'm going to attempt at taking content from a OneDrive folder and try to push it to a website. Now, the real question is, why would you want to do that? And I'm going to go explain it in a bit. But basically, the goal is to have a non-technical person, somebody that doesn't necessarily know a lot about, let's say, computers or whatever, but you want them to kind of manage your website. But your website is written in, let's call it Next.js or React or Vue.js or some sort of one of those front-end libraries, and you're trying to come up with a simple way to get the non-technical person, aka your marketer or somebody, to be able to push content to it without having to know how to actually like write code and get into the website details. So that's what we're going to try to attempt in this video. I've kind of started this process before because I was trying to work out this use case for actual real company that I'm doing some stuff with, and I figured it'd be good to kind of try to put it into sort of a tutorial type format. I've kind of set some things up in place, but I haven't actually done it. So this is going to be sort of like a raw me working through kind of the problems, and hopefully you could kind of work your way through it and get some value from the video. But anyway, let me just whiteboard sort of the process so we understand the use case kind of properly, and then we'll talk about everything after that. So first of all, what is the goal? The goal is a non-technical person should be able to manage your website, and I'll talk a little bit more about the website part of it, but this is kind of like the idea. So there's multiple ways that you could do this. So right now you could use a tool. You could use like something like, let's say your website is hosted with, it's a pure HTML, JavaScript, CSS JavaScript website. Right, it's not WordPress or any of that kind of stuff. This is not one of those videos for that. This is just like a pure, what we call a CDN website, content delivery network website, right? So my website in this particular case, I'm using Nuxt, M-U-X-T, okay, for my website. However, I think the same thing would apply to Next. They have a platform like this, and also for my CDN, I'm using Cloudflare, C-L-O-U-D-F-L-A-R-E, right? Cloudflare. However, I think this could work on Vercel or any one of those, or Netlify or any one of those kind of platforms as well too. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm just kind of giving you my use case. So that's the goal. Your website is hosted here. It's a pure CDN website, so it's really fast, blazing fast, etc. Okay. Now, your content for your, let's say you got a blog, right? Your content is written in Markdown, MD, right? So now you got this Nuxt website, your content is written in Markdown, and kind of the way how this works, and I'm oversimplifying here, is you would basically like use like VS Code or some sort of code editor to edit your Markdown files. You'd push it to Git, G-I-T, right? You'd push it to Git, and then Git would basically kind of push it over to Cloudflare. Oversimplifying, but that's kind of what would happen, right? So the problem with this is that, let's pretend for a second that you now have, so this is you're in purple here, okay? This is you know code, you could write code, etc. But now you have, let's say, a marketer or somebody that is not necessarily familiar with, you know, this tool, Visual Studio Code, etc., and they just want to contribute to your website. You kind of have a problem because this website's kind of wrapped up in a whole bunch of technical content stuff, and you just want to give them access to just be able to just contribute content, right? Now, obviously they could send it by email or drop it in Google Docs or something. You could add it to this, but really truly, let's pretend that this is a VA, virtual assistant, right? And they're somewhere across the globe, and you want to give them access. That's kind of the use case. That's why I think this is relevant. So the idea would be, or the concept would be, that they would have a folder. In this particular case, it's OneDrive, because that's what I've set it up for. So OneDrive. I'm sure this could work with Google Drive or whatever. If you guys want me to do a video about that, let me know. Put a comment inside of the chat, and I'll definitely try to help you out with doing a video on, say, Google Drive or something a little bit more robust, or iCloud, heaven forbid. But anyway, I digress. By the way, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. You know, I talk about productivity stuff and just random things about solving some of these problems. So this is something you're interested in, and you really just want to kind of learn like not necessarily the prescribed way, but just sort of like understand the thought process and how I come to some of the solutions that I did, then please subscribe. Or just do it for my ego. Either one. You pick your choice. Either way, click the button. Okay, let's get back to the video. So, right, so this is the use case. Hopefully that makes some sense so you can understand why you would potentially want to do this, right? Because that's kind of the thing. I want to make sure you guys understand the why. All right, so let's just dive into the details. So let me just tell you what I have, because I'm just, like I said, I'm doing this sort of on the fly. Haven't done this before. I'm just kind of working through things. So I literally just signed up for a, because I don't want to, I'm trying to separate things. So I signed up for a Cloudflare account because we're going to do this in Cloudflare. And there's absolutely nothing inside of here. It's a brand new account. Probably didn't even approve the email. The Dwayne Unfinished email, Dwayne Unfinished, let's see, Dwayne Unfinished. So 6:29, 7 a.m. on a Thursday morning, Wednesday, I think. Don't even know the days of the week anymore. So yeah, should have a confirmation email inside of here. So yes, there we go, right? Please click on the link in order to do a confirmation 8 minutes ago. Perfect. Okay, so we got that. All right, so next thing is, so Nuxt Content is what I'm using, and again, this is just because this is actually a really good thing. And by the way, all of this code is just going to be public, so you could kind of just start from there. So Nuxt Content is this really cool content management system. So I'm going to create a GitHub repository. So I just started a new branch. I'm going to call it OneDrive to Git, right? And it's going to be public, and it will sync a OneDrive folder to GitHub. Okay, that's the concept. Okay, OneDrive. All right, and README, and let's just do Node and click on MIT. Sure, let's be formal here, right? Clone repository. Okay. So now that we have that, you could go to this repository, you could download the entire code base and try to manipulate it to do whatever you want. Okay, so let's just pull this down. Go to our channel here, dev, Dwayne Unfinished, CMD, code. Oops, let's just do this first. CD, OneDrive, code. Okay, so we have a GitHub, we have a empty repository, and then what we're going to do is for the Nuxt getting started, we're going to install here npx init content. I think this is what you can start for a fresh content project with. Yes, okay, so here. So control tilde and just ignore all these stupid warnings. I got a problem with my editor right now, so I press that and I think this should bring everything down. Let's just see. So yeah, proceed, install, yes, and npm, sure. Don't hate me for using npm. Okay. You know, they have more fancier tools out there, yarn, bun, and all that type of stuff, but you know what? Not enough time in a day. Okay, too many tools. Okay, so this is installing. Might pause it for a sec. Okay, so that finished, and it went in here, and basically what it did, it created this app in this folder. But what I'll do is I'm going to go out to the real folder. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to take every single thing in this folder here. I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to put it on the root folder because I already have a Git set up, and then I'm just going to replace all the stuff and then just delete that folder, right? So it's going to stay in the root directory. Okay, good. So now that we have that, what is it? Just make sure that we have this thing set up correctly. We're going to do an npm install, which I think it just did, but just okay. Right, and then we'll just do an npm run dev just to run it, just so we can see what a project looks like. Run. Okay, so this should spin up a very basic website with a content folder. So here, control click, still rolling. Oh, came up. Yeah, there we go. So it's still loading, right? So what it'll give me just a very basic website, obviously no design, no template. If you guys want to know how to actually like put together an actual full concept template on this, let me know. So that's it. Try navigate into About Us. Right, so we have an About Us page, right? Very basic website, nothing fancy here, okay? So what we're gonna do is, do you want to upgrade to Nuxt config compatible with you? Yes, sure, I guess. Okay, so yeah, doing some config stuff. In the meantime, we only have one page, which is the About Us page, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here. This is the oh geez. Yes, it just keeps asking me questions and questions. Just accept everything. Okay, so like I said, the cool thing about Nuxt, and the reason why this Nuxt thing is really cool, is because you can, in here, it's just content, it's just markdown. So markdown is HTML, but it's not really HTML. It's just like HTML without all the angle brackets. So if I do hashtag here, this is a title, and if I do hashtag, this is a subtitle, and then if I do dash, this is a bullet, right? Bullet 2, etc. Right, so you get the idea. So that's basically what it is. So the cool thing is I could create now a page. So I have an About Us page. So I could create a folder called, let's call it, okay, let's just do a new file and we'll call it features MD, right? And then I'll just put my content in here. Something like that, right? And then subtitle. Okay. Now it's taking a little bit of time because it just keeps rebuilding. But the concept is that just by creating that one page, I'm able to actually build out my website, right? So obviously it's not a proper design, but let's see if it actually just works just on the fly like that. So, oh, here. So I'm on the About Us page, subtitle bullet 1. And then let's go to the features page, / there, right? So it just automatically, that's what Nuxt does. It just automatically creates the navigation and figures out all that stuff. And the only thing that you have to do is just focus on obviously the design, right? So, you know, this is not a Nuxt tutorial, but you could focus on the design part of things, right? You could put in your templates and all that type of stuff. So that's kind of the concept. Now, again, your person is not technical, so git add, right? Git commit -am initial commit. Okay, so now we've pushed that up to our main to this branch here, F5. Right, that's the commit that I just did just now, right? Initial commit, these are the pages. Great. So I can push that into thing, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get that all the way over to Cloudflare, just so that we understand the concept. 30 minutes in, we just built ourselves a brand new website, and it's public, and I'll keep these up public. So let's go to Cloudflare for a sec. Okay, I'm a big fan of Cloudflare, but not everybody might be. But anyway, so I don't even want to do a domain. I just want to do pages. Let me see if I could get away with just doing it pages. So I could do, let's see if I could just do overview, or maybe I have to create a site first. Let's just see. They've made some changes recently here. So create a worker, key value, plans. I think I just add a site. So existing domain name, example. So I don't even have a domain name, but let's just do what are the domain names that I have? I don't even know if I have any that I could use. I'm gonna go to my GoDaddy account and see. In the meantime, let's one sec, let me just pause. Okay, I got like 100 domain names. I don't know if this one's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I got unfinished.guru. We'll try and see if that one actually works. So yeah, okay, so we just gotta go down here and click on free, and then come plan, and oops, cannot add or modify a description until you all invoices are paid. What? It's a free plan. What are you talking about? So free. Confirm. They've made a bunch of changes to this thing. Okay, so I might not be able, okay, let me just try one more time, and if not, we're going to move forward, because the tutorial is not really about Cloudflare, but let me just see. Let me pause. Okay, I see exactly what I need to do. So I need to click on this here, and then it's actually not here, it's on pages. So that's what I was looking for, because I knew I could do it. Okay, so now I could just do connect to get, right? And then I could click on connect, and then dwainbrowne. And then I have to do the whole verification thing. Bear with me. So I think I have it in this one. So 784 929. Okay, great. So not all repositories, select repository, and just going to choose the one that I want to do, which is the Git, OneDrive to Git, right? And then I'll click save. And now I'll connect my GitHub, and then basically it's going to create on the pages. So you have to click on worker, overview, and then pages. Just remember that. I didn't see that before. And that should create a project. So npm build, npm thing, connect to GitHub. We did that already. Did this part. Selected repository. That's the one that we wanted. Yes. Okay, so this might be connected already, and it's just not showing. Let's find out. So if we go here, pages. Okay, why are you not connecting, sir? Okay, let's do connect again. So select a repository, set up a build and deployment, and then deploy site. So, oh, it might be because I have to, okay, so it's already connected. So I think what I have to do is I need to just go down to the local thing and just make a change. I think, and then that should trigger off the first build. I think that's what's going on. Oops. That's the ATUS. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now that I pushed that up to GitHub, let's just see. So that should basically trigger off a build in Cloudflare. I'm trying to do this because I just want to make sure that you guys understand the thing. So again, that's why we're working through these problems, right? So let me just close this because we don't need Nuxt anymore. Don't need that. Where's my Cloudflare? Got too many things open. Da da da. Ba ba ba. Too many things open. Okay, we lost Cloudflare. Log in. Doing on finish, pages and workers. Click on pages and let's see if anything. Nothing. Okay, might have to move forward with this. This might just be a GitHub problem or a Cloudflare issue. Let's try all repositories and just click on save and see what happens there, and then see if that actually helps. An unknown error, contact team for a thing. I think it's because my GitHub is tied to a different account already, and I think that's what's going on. So that might be understandable. So we're going to move forward with this. Just know that that's how you would connect the Cloudflare part to this entire process. Okay. So let's go back to the core of this entire operation, which is now that you have this content here, really and truly what you'd like to do, right, which is the goal of this, is you'd like to take this content folder and move it outside of this development environment to someplace where your, let's call it a shared folder that your VA or somebody else has access to. So let's go with, where would I put this? I would put this in SnapSuite. And then let's just keep it light for a second. So I'm just going to call it Yeah, let's go with demo. Okay, and then we're going to put it here. Content. Okay, so let's pretend that that's the folder that what I wanted. So two things I want to do. Number one is when I make a change here, I want it to be copied over here. And then I also, right, that's kind of the idea. But really and truly what I want to do is when I make a change here, I want to send it up to Git, because I want to send it up into the same, it's out, remember this is outside of the Git repository. It's outside of the Git repository. Your VA knows nothing about Git. Okay, they don't even understand what Git is. So what you would do is you have this folder with the files. You want to make a change and you want to have it automatically commit. So that's what we're going to talk about in this thing. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to put this kind of wait for a second. So let's see. So let's say that we have our folder locally. This is your computer. This is my rendition of a computer, okay? And you have the folder. This is your content folder. Okay? That's your content folder. So when you make a change in that content folder, because it's in OneDrive, right? Because it's in OneDrive, that's going to go up to the cloud somewhere in Microsoft network, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to use either make.com or you're going to use a Power Automate, right? Or in the Azure world, it's Logic App, or maybe a Zapier. I don't know if Zapier would work, but because it's a little bit less powerful. But we're gonna attempt these two. We're gonna try with Make, and then we'll see what happens with things. Because I don't know, Make doesn't really have I would argue a good integration with OneDrive, but we'll find out. So that's the idea. And then from there, the goal will be that Make is going to so this is where it gets interesting, because Make has to run some kind of Python code or some kind of code, okay, that's going to take those changes and then push it into Git. That's basically what needs to happen. Okay, hopefully you're following. So we got folder change is going to happen automatically because your VA is here and they're just making changes locally. That's going to go up to your OneDrive. OneDrive is going to send it over to Make. Make is going to send it to some sort of script. Script is going to send it to your Git repository. Git is going to send it to Cloudflare. Okay, that's the whole thing. Or Vercel or any one of these sort of front end kind of library. And this is all free. So hopefully we can get it working. So I might actually break this video up. I don't know as yet, but if I do, look at the other videos for it. So that's basically the core concept. You know what? Let's just do that. We're gonna break this video up. We're gonna start in another one because there was a lot of setup work and just to get to this point. So I want to kind of be a little more prescribed with these videos. So look for the next video, and we're gonna continue this project in terms of actually trying to push the actual content into Git and get it up in the cloud. Okay, hopefully that's been value to you. If it is, please subscribe. Thank you.